Hi again, this is Daniel Ritchie, developer of Howler, and today we are introducing a new version of Artist, which is a offshoot of Howler. Basically, it is Howler minus the animation features for those who do not need them, for artists and for designers and those not working in visual effects and animation. It is basically a $20 version of Howler. So the main difference you'll see is the omission of the animation menu, and if you also go under filters, there is no animated filter submenu there. So that is basically the entire difference between the two programs. Artist 10 is $20 and available now, and we'd like to talk about what's new. So let's jump right in. As you can see here, we have some really expressive looking brush strokes, and these are done with our Bristle Brush engine, which is available under the particle tools, and you can see various tools that we have. Bristle Brushes are a simulated brush that simulates every bristle in a brush, and also gives some various dynamics and different types of paint blending. It gives a very realistic watercolor or oil or acrylic type of brush, and very useful. We've added some new features to this. Not only do you have different brush shapes, but you also have some dynamics that can be applied to it. But now we've also added a feature we call Salt and Pepper, which adds a variety to the brush strokes. It makes them look a little groovier, or just basically changes the value a little bit, and it gives them a little more dimensionality. That's one new feature. We've also added the ability to browse these Bristle brushes visually, and that has also been extended into our media browser. You can now browse all of the particle tools in the visual browser, which is very useful and very handy. We have access to all of our foliage tools, orbicals, which are orbiting particles. New, we have the ability to paint particles using audio, which is pretty cool. Let's see, testing 1, 2, 3. As you see there, we can dynamically change the particles using our voice or audio input. Very cool feature. And as I was saying, we made a lot of changes to the particle tools. For example, a really cool feature now in painting foliage is not only the ability to scale these and also flatten them. They use a Z buffer, so when you paint, you get a true three-dimensional effect. But sometimes you just want to flatten that, push it into the background, and now you can do that, and you can paint right over the top of that again. That's a new feature. We also have the ability to scale these, so you can paint larger and smaller, which is very, very useful. But even better than that, now we had in the past we had a feature we called templates, which gave you access to a Z buffer, but we've eliminated that. We've replaced that with a global feature that's very convenient. Say we wanted to use a gradient to control the size of our foliage. We just simply drop a gradient into the swap image. Think of the swap image as painting on the back of the paper, and now we just click on Z-scale guides, and we can load a foliage brush and start painting that. Let me change the scale a little bit. We start painting that, and as we go back in that Z depth, you can see we get larger and smaller depending based on, as I said, that gradient we're using in the background. Now, this is not exclusive to foliage. This works with Bristle Brushes. This works with basically all of our tools. As you can see, we can paint, and it scales that brush down. This is really useful. It also works with particles, of course. Particles are great for painting natural-looking things like grass and all kinds of weird things like this, dead branches and stuff. We can also use this with our normal brushes. Let's say we had our Oh, find something interesting here. Stars going off like a rocket or something to that effect. Or let's see, cartoony. Here we go. We got some grass, and we can paint grass or fir trees, and it gives us sort of a Z effect, or a scaling effect based on that. And that's not just a gradient. We could put any image in that swap image, and that would become part of our. You can even see it scaling in real time as we with that brush preview. That's pretty cool. Let's also take a look at some other new features we have, and not dwell too much on that. We've also made changes to the color mixer. This now works with bristle brushes as well. It gives us a little nicer blending than what we had before. That's a new feature, and some other changes there. These are the nice little changes that are coming. And I've talked about these foliate brushes and bristle brushes and everything. There are also lots of other changes here. Orbicals has some new parameters, such as being able to work with gradients and other things, as you can see, or not. Let's see. I think some of these are additive. That's why I'm not seeing anything. All right, there we go. Lots of new changes coming to the orbital tool. There's a real-time preview on screen. If your screen resolution is high enough, you can see this taking place in real time. We have a visualization of these spring factors taking place and all kinds of things happening. You can really see that happening on screen. So really cool new features coming. So those are just a few of the things coming. Let's look at some of the other things aside from particles. Let's go back into a more normal tool. Let's see. Let's go into some of these watercolors or gouaches. Here we go. And as you recall, I made that Z scale. Well, I'm going to get rid of that, so we go back to scaling normally. Let's say if I want to create brushes of using a mouse, but I want them to look more like I painted them with a tablet. Well, we also have the ability to apply an envelope. Going to post correction. I'm going to edit this envelope, and that will basically determine the shape of this brush stroke. And basically all you got to do is edit this shape, and you have exact control of what your brush shape looks like now. Very good way to get more natural, expressive looking brush strokes using a tablet. Let's take a look at some of the images we created with this. Very natural looking watercolors. And here are some just random brushes that are being scaled using this. You can see some crazy things happening with some of our custom brushes, these particle brushes, and the watercolor brushes and other things, and then just these wild things. Lots of control now that you have that you didn't have before. So those are some of the things that are now coming into Artist version 10, also in Howler. Howler is a full-fledged media suite integrated into a painting program, a natural media painting program with all the bells and whistles you would expect in a painting program. Plus visual effects tools. We love visual effects. We grew up with a Super 8 camera in our hands. That's a film camera of the old days, and always wanted to make special effects. We had the backwinder, if anybody gets that joke. All right, so thanks for watching, and talk to you later.